Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and finally, today is the day Prehistoric Kingdom is finally released in early access. Before on the channel, you've seen this game as a demo and as a beta, but now, finally today, this game is more ready than ever before to take its first steps forward as being a wonderful combination of Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo meets Jurassic World Evolution. If you haven't seen this game before, by the way, it doesn't just have dinosaurs in it, it also has creatures that have been extinct for thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands of years, or millions, such as the woolly mammoths and woolly rhinos and many other fish and other types of birds and creatures that are no longer on Earth. But this game is definitely out of this world when it comes to the ability to build without restrictions. Now, I often criticize Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster and even Jurassic World Evolution sometimes for their pathing systems that can make it really annoying in order to build cool paddocks and other display areas and beautiful galleries in order to view all your creatures and the park that you're building. Well, Prehistoric Kingdom, just like games like Valheim, give you all the tools you need to build beautiful things and then build them without restriction, or at least they trust you to make something that's not fugly. It's on you, and that's fantastic. All right, well, I want to welcome you to today's episode of Prehistoric Kingdom. Thank you very much for subscribing here on the channel. We're going to play this one later today, too, after this video, so make sure you tune in to see a full playthrough on the early access version. And today we're going to see what's different between the beta version, which you may have seen before on the channel, and also the early access version. So we're going to jump into taking a look at what's available now in the early access version, and then I want to show you what I did back in the beta versions on some other videos to show you all the dinosaurs, all the great breakouts, and all the power outages and funny things that can happen when you let loose dinosaurs in your park. So, again, without further ado, thank you everybody for being here. Welcome to all the new members, subscribers, and everyone else, and let's check out Prehistoric Kingdom Early Access, out today on Steam. Let's go. Now, previously in this game, you were able to go to a sandbox area, but you really couldn't choose where it was or what the terrain type was like or the weather or anything like that. But this time around, we now finally get to choose a few different locations to start our park. There's a challenge mode and a sandbox mode that's available for creative and Tycoon and custom mode. So I'm assuming creative is unlimited money, as it says down there. The Tycoon mode is a little bit the same, but you kind of have to grind for a little bit more of those points. And then, of course, custom, you can kind of set it to your liking, and that's good too. But challenge mode limits you to the amount of starting animals that you have and probably what you can unlock over time too. Now we have Spain to go to, Scrubland. We have the United Kingdom, a temperate region. Costa Rica, which is tropical. Where have I seen that before? But I suppose for this time around, we'll go to, let's see, I think Spain is on the coast. You can see a beautiful Spanish vista there. The United Kingdom, I believe, is right smack dab in the middle with a lake. And Costa Rica, of course, is, well, I think it's an island off the coast of Costa Rica. Wait a minute, where have I heard that before? Anyway, let's go to Spain and take a look at the beautiful shorelines there. We'll go ahead and play in, we'll go in sandbox mode so we can take a look at everything. That sounds good to me. But here's some of the other settings for this. Things like providing power to your park is important, and I absolutely know I'm going to see the comment section filled with Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Jurassic World Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution. I agree. This game has been in development for a very long time. We played the demo long ago, almost seems like 2016, 17, 18, and the beta back in like what feels like 2019 or 2020, and now finally is early access, so that's great. Anyway, unlock all animals is the thing we can do. Animal dung is the thing as well, so you can turn that on and off because that, of course, you have to dispose of. So that means animals can die when they age, and illness also affects that too, and animal welfare being a thing as well. So if you want to build something beautiful, go for it. If you want to build something realistic, go for it. And let's begin our first park right now in Prehistoric Kingdom. Let's go! Well, welcome to Prehistoric Kingdom. In the background there, you see like the visitor center that leads to a rotunda that leads to the ticket booth down here, which is where we'll start our park. So I guess our guests will be arriving here via maybe a subway car or something like that, or a train, something off map that then leads to the ticket booth. And of course, we can build a beautiful entryway into our park. The area around us is stunning. Remember, we're in Spain here. I don't know how accurate this is for the south of Spain, but it is gorgeous to see all these beautiful landscapes to build in. And this definitely reminds me a little bit more like Isle Nublar here than seeing the coastline and such in the large mountains. Kind of reminds me that we're connected to a coastline. Really cool. We can build all the way up to this edge, so that means we could build our park kind of near the water and build some beautiful areas for guests to maybe stay at a hotel or have some dinner. And there's a very large map to build into. This is much more diverse and robust than previously ever before seen in this game. I will say that some of this is a little jarring. Like, for example, you can definitely tell where you can build and where you can't. Oh, it's kind of a good thing, too, so you know exactly where you can build in. And it kind of flows together nicely. If you're going to try to take some pictures, nobody will know the difference like that, for example. Right. So, we better get building our park then. That's what we're here to do here today before we go back and take a look at other things that we've done in the game. Where is our visitor center? Oh, wow, we got a lot of... I actually got lost. That's a lot of wetlands there. That is a very large area to build in. I couldn't even see where we were going. But, all right, so definitely some massive maps. I didn't see a way to expand or shrink that down, so that must be the base setting. And there's also a little bit of, like, sluggishness that you might see on today's video. That seems to be more on OBS, the recording software that me and many other people use. So I assume if you see a few other videos on this today, you might think, oh, this must be a very unoptimized game, or I need a very beefy PC to play. But that might not be the case. Oh, there's a day-night cycle going on here. Wait a second. Hold on. Oh, there's a day-night cycle. We can adjust the time however we want. Very nice. Very handy. And also the ability to control weather anytime we want to. Like, for example, to make it rain. That's going to be kind of cool. Let's check that out. That's good for screenshots. And also, of course, maybe might possibly manipulate animals' health and or guests buying a bunch of umbrellas. Could be a good way to make a lot of profits. Oh, that's cool. Wow. All right. Well, that's interesting. Very calming to actually build in this type of environment. Very nice. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go back to a... let's go for an overcast day a little bit and see how that transition takes place. Oh, I love that. It clears very nicely. So it went from pretty stormy to pretty rainy, but you can see it's clearing up a little bit. Wow, weather effects are going to be wonderful here. Now, one thing that I'm sure a lot of people have already said is that a lot of things look like Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. And when we bring up a lot of the stuff down here immediately, yes, this definitely feels like a Frontier Developments game. And I must say that I've been waiting a long time for Frontier to work on something other than Planet Zoo and other than Planet Coaster. And from them, I was hoping for like a city builder game where we could build train stations and bus depots and museums and cool public places and things and whatnot to go and to build in big cities. And I expected them to be the ones to actually work on a much more detailed version of Jurassic World Evolution as well. Now, luckily, we got Jurassic World and Jurassic World Evolution 2 from them, which was great. But I still feel like there's a lot of rooms for improvement in those games, especially in building all these extra little goodies and such. Now, this is an animal game, right? This is all about animal management, but also about people. It's all about marketing and about building a beautiful park that people want to come and visit. And so, of course, you know, when you're building your park, probably some of the first things you're going to build are buildings for guest amenities, like, for example, restaurants and bathrooms and maybe a guidance office, like, for example, like a ticket booth that then leads to an info kiosk that then leads to a fountain, and then maybe the name of your park or something up somewhere big. And that's kind of cool. But the game has a lot of great prefab things that are really good for people who might just be getting started. And so it's really cool to be able to see, like, for example, you know, the ability to put down a T-Rex and build pathways around it. Now, today we're just going to kind of take a look at the features that the game has, and I'll show you a little bit more about some of the other things on offer a little bit later, especially from the beta periods. But I must say, already at first glance, this is some massive improvements. The ability to build things over other things, make it a lot easier to build. Sometimes I think in Planet Coaster and Planet Zoos, it can be nightmarish to make transitions between areas. And in here, it's just like, as you would in real life, you could definitely build like a brick wall or a brick floor at an angle, that kind of thing. And very easy to delete as well. To keep in mind, we also have to provide things like, for example, power to our park. So we have access to wind turbines and solar panels. And those will power what makes our dinosaurs, which is, of course, the... Well, let's actually take a look at what we've got here. The prefab animal nursery for $1.1 million. Wow, that's some big money. But yeah, there you go. Perfect. So we can plop that down. That building comes with a few solar panels on top. It also has like some ventilation and some other decorations. And just like in Jurassic World, this too can open up and release all of your animals into the park. So this is kind of a little temporary holding area. And then, of course, you can make this go into a paddock, a bigger holding area for animals and or dinosaurs. Now, keep in mind that not only do we have the opportunity to make dinosaurs here, but we also have the ability to bring back woolly mammoths to life. So not only do we have to worry about, like, for example, a T-Rex sleeping area or whatnot, but we could also have like a big old woolly mammoth take shelter under like a, I don't know, maybe in a cave or something like that, or maybe in a giant hangar like this, where bigger and bigger animals can be stored. Well, that has got to be for a T-Rex. Wow. Actually, it's for a sauropod, but I mean, you can put whatever you wanted in here. But yeah, brachiosauruses and other big old creatures can go in here. And hey, this is a great area for them to be bathed as well. Plenty of brushes and stuff, maybe for them to get up high and get onto their backs and scrub them down or something like that, especially if there's a wound and they want to clean it or whatnot. Be probably safer to put them into sedation, but you get what I mean. But it's really cool. Lots of extra details and stuff in this game, which make it definitely on par with the other games we've seen for sure. Lots of bridges and things to build. I love all the things that we can build in here because this is what's going to make our park really fun to build. We're going to kind of start with just kind of a like a rough, very, very rough layout. But if you get my idea here, we could have, like, for example, a entryway with a dinosaur. That seems like they've already done that as well. But it looks like we can redesign this too. The prehistoric Kingdom visitor entrance can be modified. We can take this and replace this T-Rex with a fountain and then put a T-Rex on the inside and then modify it and share it, of course, via the Steam workshop, which is going to be really helpful. Now, not only can we have woolly mammoths, but of course we can get flying dinosaurs in there as well. We can have all sorts of, you know, pterodactyls and whatnot flying around and different variants like that. Oh, look, it's getting darker out because the weather is actually kind of changing too. So if we turn that on and off, it'll actually control, yeah, the rain and the overcast and stuff. That's even more realistic. Beautiful. Cool. Well, I was really amazed with opening up the early access version and seeing all the things that they've added in terms of like prefabs, which makes it a lot more enjoyable to build an area, connect it, and then move on to the next. Now, this fits all playstyles because, of course, you know you're going to find, you know, Delay Designer make a massive park in 16 minutes. She'll fill up the entirety of the map, and it'll be a beautiful one-to-one scale of something that will be built in the future. But there's an incredible amount of people who play Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, and Prehistoric Kingdom who are going to knock it out of the park. But if you're a little kind of more hesitant with your skills, well, hell, look at how easy it is to connect things. And again, I must praise this pathing system because look at that. It's so easy just to connect things up and move them around. If this is off a little bit, you click the move button. And, you know, if you want to lower it into the ground a little bit and kind of have it, like, flush with the ground or whatever you want to do, it's your park, you decide. So that's really nice. And, of course, there's management for buildings as well, so they all take power or generate power based on their needs. Some of them have solar panels on them, and sometimes they have, like, for example, windmills next to them, like the main entrance does. But there's all sorts of different things we can do here to try to get a little bit more money and modify buildings and whatnot. Module effectiveness, for example. Those we can do in the Tycoon mode in order to increase the mood or atmosphere of a building and kind of create it as something a little different. Like, for example, here we have the kiosk nutrition. Well, there, right there, you see it says, what is it, Bronto Burger? Yeah, there's a tree in the way. We got to move that out of there, right? A couple of the trees that are in the forest, we can move those over here. And then we can change this from a Bronto Burger to something else. Like, for example, we could change it to a Tiny's fast food restaurant if we want to. And we can change all the signs and things like that by just kind of moving things around. Or at least that's what it is on the inside. Like, for example, now it's a fast food restaurant, and now it's back to the Bronto Burger. But keep in mind, they prefabbed all these different types of restaurants, so you can have all sorts of different... I don't know, if you have herbivores, you could just do like a whole herbivore park. So there's your Bronto Burger, and here's, for example, your Sweet Tooth Cafe, which is like a little ice cream shop. But look at the details in this game. I mean, just like in Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, you can go right inside. You can literally see, like, for example, the... wait, what is that there? Wow, it's actually... whoa, you got to be kidding me. You can actually see the numbers on the numpad for the credit card transaction machine, the receipt printer, cups in the back, cupcakes. That's impressive, man. I'm actually blown away by that. If we could ever get a city builder where we could actually go inside of a post office or a hospital as one of the people in the city and look around, that is going to blow my mind. That is amazing. Now, I think this is one thing that was missing from Jurassic World Evolution, and Jurassic World Evolution 2 was the ability to manage these buildings on the level of Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, where you can kind of more detailed, like manage the appearance of the buildings and their connection to the main world. So look at this. This almost, if you kind of close your eyes and picture a good park, you can almost see it now. It's a park that has its beginnings, doesn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Not to mention we can also build some viewing platforms at the entrance too for some lesser, I don't know, dangerous creatures. Perhaps we could put some, I don't know, flamingos or something in there. I'm not exactly sure what we've got for animals, but that is definitely something we'll have to find out in today's live stream. So let's take a look at what else we got for the nursery menu. Check that out. Here's all of our dinosaurs. We have ourselves the theropoda all the way down to the, oh, the mammoth. There it is. Beautiful. So this is what's available for now. Now keep in mind that this is the unlimited mode where we're taking a look at all the creatures that are available at the time. Now I know that there's some more birds and such that we can put inside of cages and whatnot. So there's easy ways to do that. But just like you would do in Jurassic World Evolution, just like I guess what you'd have to do in real life, they would probably do this in real life, we would have to take a look at the world. And we would have to find out what we want and where we want to get it from in terms of the creatures that are available there for their DNA. And yes, so if you were opening your own dino park, you got to go get those bones so you can run those tests. We have creatures down here in Argentina and in northern Russia and in the center of Germany and the UK and Portugal over here. Plenty of different dinosaur locations, mostly herbivores it looks like, but also some carnivores as well. And because this is early access, there's probably going to be an astronomical amount of creatures and dinosaurs added. So we have the ability to do research and also maintain our animals, and of course have to get that star park rating, which is pretty traditional for these types of games as well. So it looks like we can rename our park, we can set the ticket prices, we can also take a look at the satisfaction for those prices, get a better park rating, and also a good overview of all of our accommodations, entertainment, food, bathrooms. This is great. This is something I think was missing from Jurassic World Evolution, was where the guests kind of just seemed like they were kind of a hologram. It didn't feel like, especially in the first game, that they were there. It definitely improved in the second game, but I like what Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo do for making the customer being the reason why you're really doing all of this. Of course, you want to keep your animals safe and warm or cold or whatever they prefer and keep them fed and happy, but also the statistics of your customers are important for the challenge of making sure that you got drink stalls everywhere where that they're needed, the education for the people who are visiting from all of your different curators, and of course educational signs and more. And it's just the ultimate challenge, and very free as well, in terms of like, well, there's a problem, you come up with the solution and do it however you'd like. Marketing, finances, and of course research here. A lot of this stuff we won't be able to see either in the early access version that's available now, or because, of course, we don't have some of these buildings constructed. Like, for example, marketing and research probably take like a administration building and maybe a lab for us to build. So we have all sorts of different enclosures here too, made from stone, glass, metal, and wood. So that's great for some of our smaller creatures and or some of the bigger creatures. And we also have the mini aviaries too. So I mentioned this before, that we can have all sorts of different creatures inside the park. And definitely flying ones are a part of it. Here you can see we got the Microraptor, that's me! And also the whatever the hell that is. Anyway, very complicated names, but very beautiful creatures. We can actually, oh, it looks like it's a Falco. Oh, that's the names, I see. But anyway, yes, so we can go ahead and click on those. These animals will then spawn in here. And the cool thing is, we can actually build all sorts of decorations around them very easily. So terraforming is definitely a thing. You know, you can do that quite easily. And this game's very good at it. I was very impressed with my previous look at it and seeing how far this had come, even back in the beta time. But like, look at that. It almost looks like you're raising the land like as it would if like, for example, I don't know, there was just an explosion underground. It looks like you're lifting up the land that way. But lots of tools to control it. But one of the cool things about this is if we go ahead, jump over here, and we want to try to make this cage look like it's in a cliff or something like that, we can try to modify it. Some of the modifications go inside the enclosure too, so that's on you and you creating things to try to make it look a little bit more convincing. And so it kind of looks like, you know, we built it back into the ground here. Maybe it's dug underground a little bit. We can put water in there if we want to. We can kind of try to spread that around a little bit. You know, whatever we want. And also control the level. of it. And that's amazing that there's so many options to do that stuff. That I cannot stress to you guys how amazing that is and how cool it is to like plant trees and things like that. I don't know. There's a lot of things that used to be challenging and time consuming, and well, this game has made it a lot easier, I must say. And I really want to see more competition in the market for us, the gamers, people who want to buy and play these games. So that way, if two developers are making games that are, you know, getting a lot of attention and stuff, there's going to be more competition between them, and that means more features and more competition for maybe multiplayer, maybe bigger games, maybe cheaper games. Who knows? I want to find some rocks here. Let's see what we can do. I want to try to put some rocks behind this little station here. Let's see how we can go about doing that. We have modular pieces, of course, easy ways to build buildings. So we can put down like a little, I don't know, like a little shelter here if we want to. And it makes it a lot easier to make buildings. You've seen all that before, I'm sure, if you've seen these types of building games. All sorts of decorations, such as lighting that we can easily put down. And let's quickly take a look at how the people look. Dan, is that you? Dan's Gaming? Hi, Dan's Gaming. You're awesome. Have a good day. Wow. I love the look of the people. Looking great. Oh, okay. Ma'am? Okay, well, they look great, but they're dumb. People, you gotta... Okay, oh, wow. Okay, they are very dumb. Oh, wow, look at the detailing here. Leaving, we hope you had a wonderful stay in the park. Please leave feedback at the main desk. Are you kidding me? They actually wrote that stuff in there? There's a phone number! Why did they put a phone number in this game? That's astonishing. I can't believe that. Wow. The discovery. Oh, and lighting, too. That's nice. That'll look nice at nighttime. Of course, you can put all sorts of lights that'll shine from the ground or from above. Yeah. So anyway, an incredible amount of detail. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted, but you should too. Getting distracted in this game is exactly what should happen. You should have one idea and then immediately abandon it for another, and then end up somehow clashing both ideas together, and then making something that you had no idea was even possible, and then, of course, making it better each time that you do it. And is there really such a thing, especially in a sandbox game where you can endlessly play? Is there anything really right or wrong? There's this kind of experiments that just work differently, and you get different results each time. And every time you play, it just gets better and better. All right, so this is what I was talking about here earlier about, you know, making an enclosure, or in this case, like a little aviary, where we can put rocks and such on the inside. And we can also make this look like a cave, so if we wanted to, we could kind of give these guys a little bit of a shelter here, maybe pick some other rocks. Oh, yes, I remember this one. Very cool. So I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to load my saves in this game and continue on from parks that I had built before, like, for example, a very large and beautiful conservatory that I was working on, and also some really cool caves for T-Rexes to kind of like come out of. And I don't know, it looked really cool. So I definitely want to share some of that too, so I can show where the game has been, and that might be able to help some of us figure out where the game is going. Like, for example, if they made an incredible amount of progress in terms of animations and like playability, that's important to me. This is great. What a bunch of clutter and junk, and I love it. That's really fantastic. But I think we have more options than ever before than we did in the early access, or rather, before early access in the beta. And I just think it looks great. Now, I see the birds just kind of sitting around here. Hopefully they actually try to fly. He is flapping his wings a little bit. Is that a prehistoric bird? I've never heard of it. Wow. Does he have teeth? Sir, do you have teeth? Give us a smile. Oh, wow. It looked like he did. Oh, God. Sorry. Do the little thing where you make the noise. There we go. Well, maybe. Anyway, a little animations for them. It looks like they don't fly around too much, but still pretty cool. You could actually like make a little area on the pathway that says like birds of the past or something, or birds of the future. I don't know. Birds of the future today, that kind of thing. Yeah, really cool. All right, well, now what I want to show you is some other footage of a previous exploration I did in the game, just to kind of show you where it's been. It'll be kind of edited down or whatnot, but I think today is the day where we're really going to truly experiment in Prehistoric Kingdom in our live stream. So thanks again for joining me, and enjoy all the pre-recorded footage from before and compare the two. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you think is fantastic, and what you think the developers should improve upon. You guys definitely have the knowledge, and knowledge is power. All right, enjoy everybody. Ooh, and look at the different entrances we have. Oh, this one's the same, but hopefully we get more. Oh man, I can't wait to see what the workshop does. Enjoy Past Raptor. Well, phase 2, looking pretty good now. I must say I've added a lot more things that I like here. Finding out a lot of tactics about copying and pasting different types of designs and things that will add to the future a little bit more. Detailing like benching and adding railings and such will really spice up the park, like over here, where now, of course, we can click a button and really copy and paste things very easily. So cool that you can literally just click duplicate and you can just add another railing wherever you want, like for example right here, and if it goes a little too long we can make some modifications to it. Makes it a snap in order to make a long entryway. Many parks have you know, grand entrances where benches and trees and things border the avenue on into the park, so pretty good. Again, we have like a little square diamond type thing here and some nice bamboo and some other benches added. We'll add some more detailing there. It looks good. I'm really proud of myself. I think that I'm getting better as a creator in these types of creative games, whether it's Parkitect or Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo or Jurassic World Evolution or this game. It's really made me kind of learn the things that are possible in all of these games by playing them all together. So it's not like this is the greatest game ever created, but it is definitely one that's gotten me like even further out of my shell of trying to get, you know, designs and such done. One thing real quick that I would like to do is build like a giant pit here for the T-Rexes and then build like a pathway or something over it. In other words, maybe make a whole sunken enclosure and then have a bridge or something over it so that way people can see from everywhere the animals inside the enclosures, whether they're woolly mammoths or little T-Rex with little baby leg. And look at that little arm. Oh, it's basically worthless. But anyway, yeah, cool. All right, let's go on to phase 3 and finish this bad boy up. I'm really, really proud of it so far. And, of course, detailing over here at the power station. Really nice stuff. Very good. That looks really nice. Very cool. Well, with a little bit more detailing that takes a lot of time, it makes a very big difference in the park. If we do enough of it, it'll really start looking good. I have yet to kind of variety up the bamboo and stuff, but I'm really proud of what everything looks like, and I couldn't be happier, I think. Cool thing, too, by the way, is we can hide the HUD here for cool screenshots without having to go into the photo mode, which is nice, too, so you can just take screenshots in Steam, and there's even a photo mode to adjust, like, the lighting and time of day and things like that. Really proud of the park. I have much more to do in this game. I would love to live stream it more. It seems very fun to put things together. Again, this is a little bit more of a sandbox type alpha, so we don't really have to worry about money. Once you put down like your first enclosure, it just starts raking in the cash. So though there is a little bit you have to do to make money, it's so simple that even even a dinosaur can do it. So pretty cool. I've also added some detailing here outside the T-Rex enclosure to keep the T-Rex back from the viewing portions and to keep the people back too. And I just like adding all these sorts of little features. I've really been inspired by other communities with Planet Zoo and with other things that they've been doing. A lot of great creators out there for all these types of games, and I'm really proud of all the creative communities for coming together and adding all sorts of little details to things and inspiring each other and cheering each other on. Is what the hell? How did those get in there? I don't know what that is. Maybe those. What is this? I don't know how that happened. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, take a seat, champ. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, this is just for the dinosaurs, just in case they need to take a seat. Things are wild. I must have copy and pasted something from the one of the fences areas or something and forgot to delete it. Hilarious. I love it. All right, well, this game, again, coming later this year. This is an extremely rough early access alpha that the developers have provided. That's actually quite smooth and provides a lot of promise for what could be coming soon to the game. Things like research, things like park management, employees, staffing. We haven't even scratched the surface of that. This is literally like playing maybe 3 hours of sandbox mode in one of the other games that I mentioned and then just trying to make a judgment off that. It's very hard to do. But there's many more things to look at. One last thing I wanted to leave you with before we go is just taking a look at the animal hatchery, just so you can see all the animals that are in store for us when we open up the genetics lab. So 6 animals, as I mentioned before. We have the Tyrannosaurus, the Edmontonsaurus, and a couple of others here that are new to me, as well as a series of birds that you saw earlier in that aviary. So you can put that down and choose from the aviary what you want to put inside. So there's going to be a lot more little enclosures and exhibits, too, that can be placed. So that way you can add all sorts of details to your park. Can't wait to see if they have aquatic dinosaurs. Can't wait to see if they have some more flying creatures of all different types. And again, this is from the prehistoric era, so not everything's going to be a dinosaur. Could see saber-toothed tigers or things that are now extinct. Who knows? Be really cool to see. All right, folks. Thanks for putting up with me today here in our first look at the early access version and comparison to the old beta of Prehistoric Kingdom. Now, again, this is early access as of today. What you saw today was a comparison between the two of the early access and beta versions. So thanks again for tuning in, and jump on now to join me live for more Prehistoric Kingdom as we build our first park in this beautiful, beautiful park building adventure. I'll see you all next time, or right now. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.